Hello and welcome to tonight's video. As you can see, the board is empty. This video, based on the title, is what is exciting about Worlds? What excites you about Worlds? What are you looking forward to the most? And not necessarily from a team, a fandom perspective. Um, I'm not, well, we'll go over that, but not necessarily, oh, well, I can't wait to see G2 or T1 or BLG at Worlds. I mean, I guess that's the thing, but that's not really what this video is going to be about as much as more nuanced things and maybe even not only nuanced but also broader looks at the tournament in general and what it brings to the table. Keep in mind though, I do not really want negativity about Riot screwed this up and that up. Comment down below with which Worlds was your favorite and why. What do you find most exciting about Worlds? So let's go over this. To me, you have two very key things that are clear as day. You have narratives, competition. So these two things, to me, right off the bat, narratives are a great thing. In my opinion, the narratives it brings, we look at Deft and Faker in 2022. We look at Faker last year in general. We look at players going for the first time at an international event. We saw the last two MSIs, Knight and Chovy winning, and that's a big deal. It's finally occurred for them. And, you know, those sort of things, I think, bring a lot of energy to the event. Competition, the highest level of play, the best teams in the world facing each other. But not only that, you can get deeper than just competition. You can look at players and teams, right? We look at the competition, and what comes from that are the player matchups and the team matchups. Are you most excited to finally see Jackie Love Mako into Guma Carrier? Or we've already seen that. That was a bad example. Or I don't know, like off the top of my head here. Let's say Deft Barrel into Elk on, or aiming and Moham. They've been looking very good. How are they going to look if they can get to Worlds against a duo like I don't know, Light and Crisp or something, right? So just think about it. Chovy into Knight. We love seeing that matchup. Keen into 369. Bin into Keen. Bin into Zeus. We've seen it time and time again. A lot of people like the elite player matchups, but also they like the team matchups, and this is where the fandom comes in. I can see, hey, I really like when well, that's a whole other thing, but when G2 plays DK, we've seen it time and time again over the years. Or maybe when we see BLG into T1, or Gen G into BLG the last couple of years, like things like that. Like, are we looking forward to team matchups? Not necessarily as a fan of a specific team, but of the competition that it brings, seeing the best teams in the world go against each other, which is different than the narratives. Like, it's a narrative in and of itself, but not necessarily, a narrative like the Deft narrative speaks for itself, right? That's not related to competition. Outside of, hey, he's going on a run. I mean, the narrative of this is an underdog story versus the competition of it all. And then not only that, let's go expand from teams and go to regional rivalries. So you've got regional rivalries that'll be on display at this event. LCK versus LPL, LEC versus LCS. A lot of people watch it for that. They want to see international competition. They want to see those matchups. They want to know how their region stacks up. And to them, that's the most important part of Worlds. Not necessarily the quality of games, keep in mind, which I would say is this competition, competitiveness, is the quality of the games. Do you enjoy Worlds, or even MSI, but more so Worlds because of the event coming up? Is that why you want to watch? Because this is the highest level of play. We're going to see the best League of Legends between the best teams in the world. A lot of people like to complain and say, oh, well, this team sucks at macro, or this team can't team fight, this team doesn't set up a Baron well, this player sucks, and that. There are millions of players of this game. And it's the top 20, not even top 16 or whatever. No, it's like 20. I don't know. How many teams are going to this event? Probably 15 to 20, somewhere in there. They're the best players in the world. And if they're not top 15, 20, they're easily top 50. And the fact of the matter is, yeah, we love to just sit on our couch and complain, but these are the best players in the world. So that is a thing. And a lot of people enjoy watching that. They also like enjoying seeing the some people like seeing the meta. What meta comes from this Worlds? And comment down below which Worlds meta was your favorite without trying to include the results of the event. Which was the most enjoyable to watch? And not like, oh, these are my top 3. No, just go with one. Make a stand. You know? And some people do enjoy the meta and what it brings. We see teams that haven't played each other much now trying to feel each other out, and they adapt on the fly. They adapt from game to game, series to series, scrimming teams they have not scrimmed in maybe years or ever, and trying to find a advantage. And sometimes that's the biggest part of it all. That's the biggest part of the competition, is who is going to find the meta, who's going to set the meta, which players are going to be. Barrel in 2022, and then Carrier pretty much doing the same thing in 2023, and dictates how this championship is going to be determined based on draft and style of play. And in my opinion, that's a very fun aspect as well, seeing the tournament change, the favorites change. And it's honestly, like I said, one of the best parts to me. Personally, I'm more of a narratives guy. I say it all the time. I'm not a fan of a team or a region. I am a fan of narratives. So going into this event, if KT go, it'd be really cool if it's a player like BDD finally won Worlds, right? Very underrated player. Just missing that title under his belt. Stuff like that is what I would be looking forward to, more so than anything else on this list. But there's also this too. Some people have mentioned this in the Discord. The environment of the games. The fact that it's an international event. The crowd sizes are generally a little bigger. Towards the end of the event, the big marquee series sell out arenas. And sometimes that gives off a vibe, right? The environment, we can also include in there the World Ceremony. A lot of people really enjoy watching that. Personally, I don't watch the ceremonies. I don't really care about them, but I know some people really, really do. They put react videos out on their YouTubes and get a ton of views doing it, but it's just not something I like. But the environment of it all, the fandom, the rivalry that goes into the rivalries of it all. And, some people, cynical, say, oh, well, if T1 isn't there, it's not going to be a big event. Well, it's going to be in Europe, so we'll see what happens. If Europeans support League of Legends, they'll go to the event. And if they don't want to support League of Legends, maybe they need to consider what to do with, going forward. Allocation of funds. If a region doesn't want to support the game, then the game shouldn't support them as much, really. So, I don't really remember how 2022 went in terms of, T1 were there, so people, I guess the narrative that T1 was there was going to sell out the arena. But I believe they sold out, so selling out is integral to whether you even deserve to be on the stage at all. But environment is a big deal to some people because it shows which players show up in the big moment and which ones crack under the pressure. A lot of people like to throw the word choke around. At this event, choking is a thing. A favorite can choke. If they have the if they are the betting favorite, they are, in my opinion, the player that should win. Now, bad days happen, and that's a part of it. But grander scope of things, the environment usually plays a role. So, just some things I was thinking about. I really, honest to God, I've been trying to get the stats done for the LCKL Pro. Oh, that's already done. The videos I was going to do, and now I'm looking at how many days I have before September when I want to start my Worlds coverage. That I don't even know. I might be wasting my time building all these stats that I want to put out. But either way, this video is kind of just spur of the moment. So comment down below with what is the most exciting part of Worlds to you. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.